How many people in here want to be a doctor, a lawyer, pharmacist, whatever? I'm sure I'm going to have a whole lot of hands.
Danavan Hylton is a husband of 7 years and a father of 3 sons. He is a motivational speaker, a local political consultant, and owner that operates Hylton Elite Marketing Agency, a full-service sales and marketing firm that provides grassroots marketing and soft skills training for workforce development and organization, employers, and local businesses. Currently, he serves as a board member and vice president for the Board of North Nashville Chamber of Commerce. He is on the Leadership Council for the National Small Business Association, and he is a corporate ambassador for the Beacon Center of Tennessee, which is a think tank dedicated to providing expert research and timely free market solutions for public policy issues in Tennessee. Danavan is also a former regional vice chair for the Davidson County Democratic Party. His growing firm's premier clients are industrial staffing company Express Employment Professionals in Nashville Metro Department and housing agents. Danavan is an advocate of leading by example and wants to see the best for himself and others.
I am not Scottie Pippen, nor am I related to him. And before I get started, I just want to give thanks to all the administrative staff and the teachers for taking care of these babies out here. I know it's real. I know, first of all, it's bright early in the morning, and just to see so much young energy out here, I can only imagine, especially if those are on their best behavior. I can imagine it's a lot first thing in the morning. So thank you for taking care of these babies. Administration here for the East Middle School Eagles Rise Up. So, let's see. The bottom line, don't dream it, be it. And as you heard in my bio, of all the things that I accomplished and doing all this stuff, the bottom line is when I came to Nashville, Tennessee, when I was 21 years old, from Southern California, I was homeless. And I moved to Nashville, Tennessee with my girlfriend, who's now my wife and my business partner. We just had our 7-year wedding anniversary, and she's back there holding the camera. That's Miss Malika Hylton back there. Shout out to her. And we were just Vegas time, again, homeless, no money. We had like $14 in our pocket. And we also have our oldest son, Danavan Hylton III, who's in 4th grade. He's standing right over there as well. You may say, why is he not at school? Well, he's homeschooled this year. It's a different experience. And he's also the business owner of KumarKits.com. It's an online store that sells superhero-themed shoes to 0 to 12-year-olds. Obviously, you have to be over 18 to order the shoes. But he's a young entrepreneur, and he's also our vice president of research and development for our family business. So anything when it comes to checking out our websites, any of our email marketing, making sure our stuff is on point, our oldest son takes care of that. And so that all goes into the point of don't dream it, be it. And so I want to give you guys some principles, some foundations of truth as to how you can become the dreams that you have in your mind. And so again, with me coming here homeless, obviously I didn't sound like I didn't have any dreams. But so I don't have any dreams. But the bottom line is, I always had dreams. You gotta enjoy life. You can't be so serious all the time, especially first thing in the morning on a Friday. I've always had dreams, but within these short few minutes, I want you're going to understand how sometimes your dreams are going to present challenges. And when the challenges in your life present themselves, that's where the boys are separated from the men and the girls are separated from the women. I know we're in middle school, we're heading to high school pretty soon, and we'll be entering the world. And I know that we're all young, good looking, cool, hip, all these different things, but I'm going to give you some insight as to once you graduate high school, the real world challenges that you're going to face and how you can get over them. Okay? Raise your hand if, first of all, if you have a dream for your life. Raise your hand. Okay. And great job. And when it comes to that dream, raise your hand if you are actually taking the steps right now to pursue your dream? And the question was, raise your hand if you have a dream, and also raise your hand if you're taking the necessary steps right now to pursue your dream. And that's awesome, because you guys are already a step ahead of the game, because I wasn't there. So the bottom line is we all have dreams, right? But the question is, what kind of challenges will come your way in order for you to accomplish those dreams? You do realize there's going to be challenges, correct? Okay, so what are some of the challenges that may pop up when it comes to pursuing your dreams? Any answers? Young lady in the red? And nice and loud, because I'm way over here, I'm so sorry. Gotta get to college. Gotta get to college. Personally, I don't have a college degree, but I always do advocate heading to college, but absolutely, you have to get to college. If you have a note, a pen, pencil, or a piece of paper, I suggest that you always keep one with you, because you never know who you're going to run into and what information they're going to give you. And here's some very important information if you decide to go to college or not. First of all, you have to know, what are you good at in life? What are you good at? What are you good at, for one? Number two, what do you enjoy doing each day? Because one of the things is, with all due respect, most individuals receive heart attacks. Most adults receive heart attacks. I want to say 70 to 80% receive heart attacks Monday morning between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. Most of America doesn't know that. And the reason why they receive heart attacks is because they wake up in the morning after a great weekend and they realize, oh man, I gotta go to work, and this sucks. A lot of folks do not like what they're doing. And so if you want to enjoy, especially the men here, if you're a man, keep this in mind. Maybe too young, but it's how you ensure a long-term relationship with your woman as well. If you're not waking up, enjoying what you do every day, it's going to show. And people will end up not liking you because, unfortunately, you have a bad attitude. And so with that being said, you have to first know not only what you're good at, but what you enjoy doing each day. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, if there's challenges that come your way, it's cool, you can handle it because that's part of the journey. Also, you need to know, what is it that people need? What do you enjoy doing? What are you good at? But also, what do people need? And more importantly, what are people willing to pay you for? Now, this may sound like, does anyone know what an entrepreneur is? Entrepreneur? I saw the first hand in the back there. With the, yes. Thank you so much. It sounded like the answer was an entrepreneur is someone that has their own business. Correct. And so in this particular case, I'm so sorry, I may get you the next one, sir, with the hand up. So sorry, I may catch you next one. But in this particular case, this is a conversation in this great country called America. This great country called America, this is probably one of the only few countries where wherever you're born, if you are born with little to no money, by the time you leave this earth, you could actually create more financial gain for yourself and your family. There's some countries, if you're born poor, that's it. There's no way around it. If that makes sense. So really, with all due respect, free education. No matter how much you may want to have an attitude and try to get upset with your teacher, there's a lot of countries in the world right now struggling to provide free education. So I say all these things for you to keep in mind that when it comes to bettering yourself, I'm having a conversation about you either becoming an entrepreneur, running your own business, or to pursue a career. Anyone know what a career is? What is a career? And actually, I had to, did you still want to? Yep, with the blue shirt. What is a career? And I'm so sorry, I have a little earwax in my ears, so you gotta speak nice and loud.
You said it's like having a job.
Okay, we're gonna roll with that. So a career, I'm gonna take a few more minutes. A career is kind of like a job. But in your career, traditionally, is something that you actually said, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to pursue. So you have some folks that have a job to pay their bills. You have some folks that have a career where they're specialized in something or they enjoy doing something, and not only do they pay their bills, but again, they enjoy the everyday workings of that job, which happens to be a career. So in this case, we're having a conversation about either starting your own business or pursuing a career. And so when you get out here to connect with these different resources as far as employers out here today or resources, make sure you ask questions as to, what is the job about, what do you have to do to start getting your mind going as far as what you would like to do as far as putting money into your pocket. Do you understand that you also have to make money in order to survive in this great country called America? You know that, right? Okay, and so again, we're having a conversation about careers and entrepreneurship. But either way it goes, you have to make some money, and I pray it's legal money. And for you to make good money, while you're in school right now, what are some of the things that you have to do? While you're in school right now, yes. Pay attention to class. It sounds so boring, but it's very important. Paying attention. What other things do you have to do? Yes, sir. Take notes. Take notes. We all have great memory, but sometimes we forget things. So it's always good to be able to go back. Pay attention to class. Take notes. Study. And work. And bring it all back around. When it comes to don't dream it, be it, these are all the things that you have to do in order to make your dreams come true. You have to work. You have to study. You have to take notes. You have to pay attention. These are things that I had to do when I came to Nashville, literally with $10 in my pocket, and said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I had to study. I had to work. I had to take notes. I had to ask questions. And here I am today. Okay? Bottom line is, whatever you feel that you want to do in life, you can do it with those principles. If you feel like if you know what you want to do, make sure that you're surrounding yourself as well with good friends. Do you feel like if you say, hey, I want to start my own, we'll just say, well, I want to start my own candy store, right? And you tell your friends that. But your friends say, after you tell your friends, and your friend says, hey, let's go out and go steal some candy from this store. Do you feel like that's a good friend or not a good friend? Why not? And I appreciate, absolutely right. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the engagement. So at this point, keep in mind when it comes to your friends, and we're here on career day, and then we're young, so we may not be thinking about these things, but I'm just giving you some quick principles as to creating a dream and living your dream. And I'm telling you right now, with me coming to Nashville, literally homeless, and actually being in this position, letting you know the principles, the dream can become real with work, taking notes, asking questions, and studying. But more importantly, you have to make sure you surround yourself with good people. So if you have a friend, and you say, hey friend, this is what I'm going to do to better my life, but then your friend tells you to do something that's not going to better your life, is that a good friend? No. So you have to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that also want to dream big and pursue those dreams as well, if that makes sense. Don't want to take any of your time, any more of your time. Any questions or concerns for me as far as when it comes to dreaming big, as far as my story, or any questions when it comes to pursuing a career? Any general questions at all? Yes. Great question. So the question was, how did I get a job once I moved to Nashville and I was homeless? My first job, I served as a janitor. I was cleaning tables, cleaning toilets, buffing floors. I'd never done it before in my life. But the bottom line is you have to start somewhere. So that was my first job. I did that for a year and a half. Here's a fun story. So I live in North Nashville. My job was in Franklin, cleaning these big churches. And I had to be at these churches at 3:30 in the morning. And at the time, I was able to save some money up to get a car. But I didn't have enough money for gas. So literally I'd go to work, and then by the time I got my paycheck to pay my bills, I would have no money, but I had to go to work for 2 weeks before I received some more money. And so there were plenty of times where halfway to my job at 3 in the morning, I was running out of gas. And I was probably in this area called Green Hills / Franklin. 3 in the morning, dressed in janitor's clothes. I didn't have a cell phone, So when I have to knock on somebody's door in Franklin or in Green Hills to say, excuse me, can I call 3 in the morning? Can I call my boss to let them know I'm going to be late so I don't get fired from my job? And I believe this is a right to carry state. You know what I'm saying? So, if you know what that means. So my point is, when people look at me and they see all these great things, in order for me to get to where I had to be, I had to go through challenges as well. And so even though my first job was a janitor, that was just a fun fact. I look back, all those challenges made me a stronger person to where whenever I'm faced with opposition or challenges today, it's pretty much not a problem at all. Questions or concerns? Talk to me. 2 more minutes. Yes. How did I make good friends? Great question. I'm a lone ranger, to be honest with you. Great question. This is something for you all. I'm a lone ranger simply because I know who I am, and I know what I can accomplish, and I know where I want to go. You're going to have folks in life that are going to talk it very well, but not actually do what they're saying. And so how I make my friends is, if somebody walks up to me or I walk up to them and I get to know them, I'm going to be respectful, introduce myself, but I'm not going to say, hey, friend, big buddy, hug and all that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your walk. I'm going to look at what you're doing in the community. I'm going to look at what you're doing with your family. I'm going to look at what you're doing in your personal life. And if I continue to keep running into you around my circle, that means you're in the right places. And you're continuing to show those characters, those good character styles, and therefore I'll be your friend. And once we become friends, our alliance of friendships with different people becomes stronger because I have a group of people that aren't playing games, if that makes sense. One more question. Yes, sir. How long did it take me to become a business owner? So I moved here when I was 21, I'm 32 now. To own my own business, it took me 8 years. And the reason why it took me 8 years was because when I first came to Nashville, I had to first make money. And so I started off as a janitor, I was working at call centers, I was actually a valet at a hotel. And the valet is where you have to run for the cars, you know what I mean, and give you tips. And so sometimes because the people stay at the hotels and they're paying like $400 or $500 a night, they feel like they can talk to you any kind of way. So all these things I had to go through to make money. But on the side, I was doing a lot of volunteer work, helping nonprofits raise money for their organization, helping nonprofits connect to corporations. One of the things that I've always had going for me, with all due respect, and also just a word to the wise for the young men, was when I wasn't working, I was always, as best I could, professionally dressed. I can I'll be at the nightclub, I'll be at the grocery store, and people always tell me, are you a pastor or are you a probation officer? That's what I was always hear. But I was always professionally dressed because you never know when opportunities are going to come your way. And I used to get my clothes from I still get my clothes from the Goodwill. I'll tell you right now. 99 cents on Wednesdays and Sundays. Don't get it twisted. You don't need to buy $300 suits and all that. Sometimes I'm like, $5.99 for a suit, that's too much. And but I'm clean. So my point is, started doing volunteer work. Eventually, I ran for city council in 2015 here in Nashville, only because the work that I was doing was helping nonprofit organizations raise money and connect to the right people. And because these nonprofits and these corporations kept saying, Donovan, you're doing a great job, we need more individuals like you, I found again what I was good at, what I like to do, what people needed, and what people were willing to pay me for. And so I started pursuing jobs that allowed me to do that while I was getting paid, which is helping to connect nonprofits to corporations. Did that for a few years until I learned the ins and outs of professionalism and decided to start my own business, which was very scary. And after 3 years in business now, we are just now starting to become the dream that we know we are as far as when it comes to corporations connected to diverse communities. We're that company. Don't want to take any more of your time. I hope this makes sense. Thank you. Congratulations in advance for all of your success in your life. Make sure you stay around sharp people.
Now, can we give him another round of applause? Now, we will have a presentation by Sydney Hart.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much.